I hope you can all see that. Excellent.
Yeah, can I see that?
Excellent. Thank you. So this evening, the tourism team at the Yorkshire Dales National Park would like to give you more of an insight into the Dark Skies Festival and how you and your business can benefit from taking part in the growing fascination of our dark skies and how the festival will help you do this. Throughout the year, we work hard to ensure that this annual festival takes place. And the purpose of this presentation today is to explain what the Dark Skies Festival is, why you should take part in the Dark Skies Festival, how we can help and support you in hosting an event, recent success statistics of the festival, why you might consider becoming a dark sky friendly business, what astrotourism is, how you can improve your lighting, and then we'll have a question and answer session at the end. Oh, it's not moved on. There we go. So what is the Dark Skies Festival? Well, since 2016's inaugural festival, the Yorkshire Dales National Park and the North York Moors National Park have collaborated to create an unmissable fixture in the calendar, and we have just completed our 7th Dark Skies Festival. The festival is an opportunity for you as a business to attract visitors to the Yorkshire Dales to promote yourselves. The festival was developed to promote the special qualities and purposes of the Yorkshire Dales National Park out of season, with an aim to extend the visitor season for businesses. The festival has been a huge success and has developed year on year and grown with interest and popularity. So much so, we have created an extra festival in October called the Fringe Festival, offering the same exciting events and business opportunities during the October half term. So following the success of the Yorkshire Dales and the North York Moors being named as an International Dark Sky Reserve, visitors are now realising just how amazing our night skies are, and the space above us is just stunning. So we've decided, so we are now in one of the largest dark skies areas in the UK and one of the biggest in Europe, which is just something fantastic to be able to shout about. The constant publicity and the growing interest in the dark skies is making the Dark Skies Festival a growing destination, and visitors are travelling far and wide to experience this festival. So why host a Dark Skies Festival? Well, the festival is an important opportunity for businesses like yourselves to host events and promote the special qualities of the Yorkshire Dales, and your business can take advantage of this too. You can do as much or as little as you like, but just promoting the festival can help promote your business. Sharing posts and information with your guests is an invaluable support for everyone taking part. Hosting an event attracts visitors to your business. It raises the profile of your business. It raises awareness of your business. It can generate an income, and it can create repeat visitors throughout the year. The festival also helps accommodation providers within the Yorkshire Dales National Park, as visitors need somewhere to stay when they come and enjoy the festival. We have had so many wonderful events in the past, and we look forward to promoting more exciting events in the future. Some examples of the events that we have shared and we have promoted include Dark Skies camping weekends, astronomical talks at various dark skies locations around the Yorkshire Dales, including ice cream parlours, pubs and restaurants. We've had restaurants create themed menus and have nighttime talks and dark sky talks at the end of the amazing meal that people have put on. We've had guided walks, we've had night runs, we've had night bike runs, bike rides, we've had guided accessible walks, meditation and yoga with stargazing, fun crafts such as rocket making and lantern making and bat biscuit making we had this time, cookery classes with a twist, bat walks and nocturnal animal exploration, and planetariums. And what I would really like to see is a dark skies to sunrise walk, because we haven't done anything on a morning yet, and I think that's such a wonderful opportunity, followed by a really delicious breakfast. So if anybody's interested in putting an event on like that, I'm sure it would be quite popular. You don't necessarily have to host an event. And I think that's one thing that you need to consider as a business. It doesn't just have to be events. You can do something a little bit different, but still promote the festival and your business. So, for example, Tom Addison, who is a local furniture maker, was inspired by the dark skies and where he lives within Wensleydale, and came up with the most fantastic idea of working with a local designer from Burnie and Blue and Emma Harris Upholstery to create the most stunning booked and box collection, which is all inspired by the dark skies. We have also had Elizabeth Fawcett from Humble Pie making constellation biscuits, which she put on YouTube and we shared. Bakeries producing delicious themed cakes and bakes, which were also promoted on social media. And a few years ago, a local company made dark skies themed chocolates for the festival, which were absolutely delicious. Another option is to work and collaborate with businesses. And we have had some great examples over the years of different businesses working together. This year, the Settle Carlisle worked with Station Inn at Ribblehead to host a fantastic event. And the Station Inn also went above and beyond, making delicious dark skies cupcakes, which you can actually see on the presentation. So how can we help you? Well, we can help in various ways by recommending and putting you in touch with an astronomer and promoting your events to encourage visitors to come to your business as part of the Dark Skies Festival. We work with businesses to promote events, and the more you do, the more we can do to help. So we've created a Dark Skies Festival map. And if you can get your information to us about your event, the earlier the better. We will ensure that your event is on the map, which is then promoted on all dark sky friendly businesses and in our visitor centres. We have a logo which we provide to everybody that puts on events, and you can use this logo for your posters and for any promotion that you do. We promote the Dark Skies Festival on our Yorkshire Dales National Park Facebook page and the Dark Skies Festival page, both of which have a great following, and Katie will be telling you more about this in her presentation. And if you list events on the Facebook page and share these via our social media outlets, we will share and promote the events and link them to Go Stargazing and the new Go Stargazing app, which I'm sure Neil will tell you about in his presentation. Promotion on the Yorkshire Dales National Park website we will continue to do, and the National Park Dark Skies website will upload all the events as well. You can add your events to our What's On section in our website. And we also have fantastic press release. And this year we had some great national coverage in The Guardian, Daily Telegraph, Times, just to name but a few. We had local Yorkshire publicity in the Yorkshire Post, Yorkshire Life, Yorkshire Living, and Living North. We had local press such as Craven and Herald, Reith Gazette, York Press, various blogs blogged about the festival, and we also had broadcasts such as Radio York, Leeds Live, BBC Tees. We get contacted regularly every year to do an interview and talk about the festival. Look North were planning to do something this year. Unfortunately, we didn't get on Look North, but in previous years we have been promoted well on Look North. And Newsround did a fantastic interview for CBBC with some lovely, very enthusiastic children from Nethergill promoting the festival. And we'll show you the BBC Newsround interview at the end of this presentation. We work closely with regional tourism boards and local district councils who promote the festival, and we have leaflets, and visitor centres are aware of the festival, so let anybody know about it when they come and visit. So all this support is a fantastic opportunity to promote an amazing event. And remember, we are always here to help, and we want to help you to put on the best event possible and to promote it as much as we can. So I'll now hand you over to Katie, who will offer some guidance on how to promote your event and the festival, and with some statistical data of the festival too. So thank you very much.
Thanks, Helen. I'll just share my screen. Does that all look good? Okay. So in my section, I'm going to cover the statistics from the festival and how the Yorkshire Dales National Park Authority promotes the festival and ways in which you can also promote your events. So yeah, don't worry about making any notes or anything because the session is recorded, as we've mentioned before, and I can circulate the presentation with all the links afterwards. Just email the tourism@yorkshiredales.org.uk email address. So social media. So I'm just starting with a few of the top line stats from the festival just gone. The reach and engagement are the key figures. The reach shows how many unique accounts or individual people have seen the content at least once. And impressions on Twitter is how many times the content has been viewed. So this could be the same person viewing it more than once. The engagement is how many people have engaged with the content. So that could be likes, shares, retweets, comments, clicking on a link or clicking on an image. But for Instagram, the interactions refers to likes only in this instance. So we carried out very minimal paid promotion this year, since events were just selling out so fast, and more spend was spent in previous years, either because was sort of no spend on traditional media or publications such as the map, or because of our online focus with events because of the impact of COVID and the potential to create awareness and reach for such a large audience for these. It was noticed that online events were less popular this year, even though through the survey we conducted last year during our virtual festival, there was demand to continue this element into future festivals. So these are the total number of unique page views for our Dark Skies visitor related pages on our website in comparison to the previous year. As you can see, they've all increased from the previous year. So we've got our Dark Skies Festival press releases, our What's On events listing, our Dark Sky friendly business page, the stargazing landing page, and our Dark Skies activities page, which has blogs and quizzes on. So these are the analytics from the main Dark Skies Festival website, which is linked to from our own website. Unfortunately, I don't have direct access to this, so I don't have any in-depth figures. But so these are just the total page views per month compared to last year. As you can see, December was slightly lower, well, about half, sort of lower than it was last year. Not entirely sure why that is, but we do know that the online events were extremely popular last year due to the situation of having to stay from home, so it could be a reflection of that. And February is lower, as these stats were recorded on the 28th of February, which was only 10 days into the festival. And I don't currently have anything more up to date, but I can update the figures after if anyone is interested. So these are just some general insights into the Joint Dark Skies Festival website. So mobile seems to be the most popular device to view the website. The Yorkshire Dales events page performed better than all the other active pages on the website during January and February, aside from the main landing page. We directed all of our social media through the Yorkshire Dales events page to this website, so that probably explains the high numbers. And then, yeah, just a few other little interesting stats with countries there as well. So how we promote the festival, which Helen's already touched on, but I'll go into a bit more detail. So we utilise the Yorkshire Dales National Park Authority website, the events listing and social media channels, as well as local and national media. We also carry out paid promotion in some cases to boost the activities to the right audience. And I've added a link here which takes you directly to our events listing page, where you can add your own events. But if you would like any further guidance on this, just get in touch after the workshop. We monitor the Dark Skies Festival hashtag for posts. So if you do include this in your posts, you are more likely to be noticed. And we use contacts with astronomers such as Go Stargazing, who help to promote the events in tandem. So we share in local community groups, such as We Love the Yorkshire Dales events and ads. We also have advertised the Dark Skies Festival to those who signed up to receive information on this last year during the virtual festival, which is sent over to just over 400 people. So that's a group of people that are directly interested in receiving this information. We try to provide support and information about opportunities in our Tourism Talk newsletter and emails, such as featuring on our map. And we do also have a feature sometimes on Dark Skies in the Dales newspaper and the Visitor. We use eye-catching images to increase the profile of events. But just as a side note to that, please don't just copy logos and images without checking permissions and giving credits. We do have our own photo library with some Dark Skies images on, which you're welcome to use, and I will speak about that a bit later on. And yeah, hopefully we'll be running more training sessions like these in future. So how you can promote your event. So you can post on social media or share our content on your own Facebook, Twitter and Instagram accounts. Planning a date in the diary as early as possible to run an event is advantageous. It means we can start promotion sooner. You've got more chance of being included on the map. And astronomers are always in great demand. So booking early will increase your chances of securing one for the date that you wish. So use various channels to promote. Update your website to reflect the Dark Skies Festival. You can share an update in your newsletter or email channels, or share a blog about why the Dark Skies are special and important to your customers. So you can add an event to our events listing or create a Facebook event. This then links to our main Dark Skies Festival website if you add your own event on our website. We can also create PR opportunities, such as the most recent news round video, which Helen mentioned, or you can always email us directly if you require any further promotion. So you can use our Dark Skies Festival logos, which can be used on websites and on social media. And you can see one of our logos in the top right corner there. And consider finding a hook for your event, which will make it stand out and unique, and that will catch the attention of potential visitors. Make use of our international dark sky reserve status, which sets us apart from other locations for a truly dark skies experience. And if you need more information on what a dark sky reserve actually is, we do have a section on our website, which might be useful as well when sharing this information with guests. So you can use an event ticketing website to set up your events for booking and advertise the link, and we can direct all our promotion straight to that link. Hashtag your social media posts and engage with us via your own accounts. We recommend using existing hashtags such as astrotourism, dark skies, astronomy, stargazing, and dark sky reserve. So yeah, make sure to capitalize on our reserve status in your promotion, and tag us so we are notified of your posts. I have noticed that if you are scheduling through a scheduling tool, sometimes the hashtags and tags don't link correctly. So just a reminder to check your posts and ensure that the links are live when you are posting. Can use our map, which you can include a link to on your website and social media. It shows the dates and times of all the events taking place during the festival and where they are located within the Yorkshire Dales National Park. And the maps are also distributed and shared in our national park centres. You can link up with other businesses and encourage others to join the Dark Skies Festival conversation, and I'll show some examples a little bit later on. And as I've mentioned before, we've got our photo library. So when posting on social media platforms, be sure to include a visual element. So it could be images or videos, as these tend to perform better than posts that without images. You could maybe even have a live sneak preview of the actual event. And you can download images from our photo library. You just need to make an account and sign in if you haven't already. And then you can search for dark skies or stargazing, for example. And then finally, you can become a dark sky friendly business, which Catherine Story will be talking about a little bit later on. So just to finish off with some examples. So there are a lot to choose from, but here are just a few examples of social media posts by businesses, which I think showcase their events well and successfully linked to the festival. So we've got one here emphasising come and stay with us during the festival, with the Dark Sky Friendly Business logo, and the other providing helpful information to potential guests by recommending local dark skies events to visitors in the nearby area. So maybe you are an accommodation provider not involved directly, but who would like to be involved. So why not share local events with your visitors, or see if those who are coming to the area for the festival are looking for a place to stay. And likewise, maybe those businesses who are taking part can share details of accommodation providers where visitors can extend their stay, which benefits other local businesses in the community. And as you can see, these particular businesses have included tags, a range of hashtags, good use of image, logos, and an important call to action. So next examples are collaborations. So these are just examples of businesses that have partnered up and collaborated during the festival. So feel free to just jump on the bandwagon and use the festival to promote your business and products, such as Tom Addison Fine Furniture, which Helen mentioned earlier, who collaborated with other local businesses and tied in his products to the festival. And here we have some great examples of some posters created for the festival with quite different approaches. So one including our logo and branding under the Dark Skies Festival, and the other incorporating an image from our photo library, and the direct link to the festival in the status with a tag and a hashtag and a call to action to their website. So they're just a few good examples, but there was a lot of great posts. But yeah, just if you're wanting some inspiration on how to promote your events. And finally, so these are just some links where you can connect with us with regard to the Dark Skies Festival, connect with us on social media, and a few web links at the bottom. But again, I can circulate these for you afterwards. And so now I'm going to pass over to Catherine, who's going to do a little section on how you can become a dark sky friendly business. I'll just stop sharing.
Okay, Katie, have you got that last slide?
Yeah, just slide.
Sorry. You feel better with a slide.
1 second, sorry.
Thank you. Excellent. Right.
Oh. There we go.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you. Right. So we've now got about 30 businesses in and around the park, many accommodation providers that have gone for the accolade of being dark sky friendly, and we'd love to receive more applications from more of you. So we put the list together of 6 reasons why you might want to consider becoming a dark sky friendly business. So if we have a look at the top of the list, at the very top of list, it's free to apply. So it's entirely free. The applications are administered by the tourism team, so you just need to get in touch with either Helen, Katie or myself, and we can have a chat, or you can have a look at the information on our website where there's information on how to apply and the criteria that you need to be able to fulfil. The criteria basically encourages businesses to go the extra mile to offer specific activities, facilities, information or services to enhance people's stargazing experience in the Yorkshire Dales. It's an opportunity to make the most of what's unique and special about the area. So just as people have long been attracted by wildlife, landscapes and the historic sites, now the stars offer another compelling reason to visit. Dark skies are one of the special qualities of the national park, and the Yorkshire Dales has some of the darkest skies in the country, which is what sets it us apart from other nice areas to visit. We know because we've had volunteers go out on clear, moonless nights to take readings. By holding up light meters to the sky, they've been able to measure the amount of light that there is in a given area. Not surprisingly, the very darkest areas of the park are the areas that are most remote, away from roads or street lighting. So if you're based somewhere that's free of light pollution, or you're able to easily accommodate people who want to be able to experience a sky that's free of light pollution, you're well on your way to being able to become a dark sky friendly business. You can benefit from additional promotion, which is probably what we've talked about already. Once you've submitted your application to show you meet the criteria, we'll send you the dark sky friendly business logo to use in your own promotion, such as on your websites, etc. But we'll also add you to the list of dark sky friendly businesses on the National Park website. There's additional opportunities too. As we've said, during the festival, we highlight dark sky friendly business places to stay, because we receive a number of inquiries every year from people who want to book somewhere that's dark sky friendly as part of their stargazing visit. And also when we receive press inquiries, our dark sky friendly business list is our sort of go-to list. There's also Neil's Go Stargazing website, which also lists stargazing accommodation. The majority of stargazing businesses, dark sky friendly businesses, are accommodation providers, but the criteria has been written so that other types of businesses can also be involved. So going on, as a way to attract custom out of season. Although stargazing is a year-round activity, our skies are darkest for longer and therefore more accessible out of season. So if you're wanting to appeal to visitors who are looking for something to do outside the main season, then dark skies offer this opportunity. There's 2 kinds of visitors attracted by the prospect of dark skies. There's the more experienced astronomers who may have their own gear and want to escape their light polluted homes to view under a dark sky. And then there's the novices who have little knowledge of the heavens, but they're intrigued to find out more. And these will be the majority of visitors. So being able to do a brief spot of stargazing can make a great additional activity and add something extra to their visit. And to be a dark sky friendly business, you don't need to be an expert astronomer. Most people are just simply blown away by the number of stars in the sky compared to what they can see where they live. There's no getting away from the fact that it's cold and usually wet out of season. So if you can make their stargazing experience comfortable by providing blankets or somewhere comfy to sit back and look up, or somewhere just warm and cozy to return to after being outside, most visitors will be perfectly happy. You don't need to have stargazing facts to hand. There's apps and books and things that you can point people in the direction of, and they can discover things for themselves. And you don't necessarily have to host an event. As a dark sky friendly business, you can simply promote the Dark Skies Festival and any events that might be happening nearby. And finally, it's another way to highlight your environmental credentials. I think that when we think of the effect humans are having on the environment, we tend to think of rising sea levels and deforestation or global warming and the melting ice caps. And then if we turn our thoughts to pollution, we mainly think about levels of pollution in the air or water. We don't immediately think about light pollution, but light pollution's there and it has a major effect on animals and nature. So lighting on our own properties is something most people have control over. So in comparison to, say, sorting out global warming, is a positive change that can be made at a more local level. And if you're able to show that you reduced as much as you can your impact on the local environment while creating an opportunity for visitors to experience the dark skies by lighting appropriately, it's a win-win situation. So if you have no desires to become an expert astronomer, but you're prepared to go the extra mile to enhance your customers' stargazing experience, if you care about the environment and want to attract custom during the quieter months, then think about becoming a dark sky friendly business, because we'd love to hear from you. Thank you. Thanks, Helen.
Thanks, Catherine. That's wonderful. I'll now hand you over to Neil, who is going to do a talk on astronomy, so astrotourism, sorry. So if you would like to share your screen, Neil, that would be brilliant. I think, Katie, you need to unshare yours. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll just do that right now. I've just realised as Katie and you and Catherine were doing your presentations that I was going to duplicate quite a bit of it. So I've been frantically just rearranging a few slides here, but that's all cool. We can do this. So very briefly, good evening, everybody. Thank you for coming along this evening, and thank you to the Yorkshire Dales team for inviting me to talk this evening. I'm Neil Sanders. I'm a keen local amateur astronomer based in Darlington. And I just, basically, I just love showing people cool things through telescopes. That's kind of what I do, and really like encouraging people to get away from the light polluted towns and cities and experience the dark skies. And what better place than the Yorkshire Dales National Park or Yorkshire Dales Dark Sky Reserve. So I'll just spend a couple of minutes just explaining what astrotourism is, what the potential or what it can offer, and then a little bit about ghost stargazing, if that's okay. So what is astrotourism? This is a photograph that I took just a couple of weeks ago when I went to Nethergill Farm for the Mindful Stargazing Experience event, which was absolutely incredible. The location's amazing. It's just south of Hawes. Quite a journey to get to, but when you get there, we had such a fabulous experience with these wonderful dark starry skies. And you can see from my photo, just, every single point of light in the sky that you see there is a star, a sun, just like our own. This faint patch going across the middle from bottom to top is the Milky Way, our galaxy. A feature of the sky that we do not get to see, or many of us do not get to see, because we live just with light pollution. I could even point out a couple of galaxies in this photo as well, and that's what makes perhaps the Yorkshire Dales really quite special, is that you can see and do things that you can't normally do elsewhere. So what is astrotourism? Well, I love this quote or this description from my friend John Barentine. He used to head up the International Dark Sky Association. He's recently moved on, and he's a very big advocate for against light pollution and advocating more sensible and more useful use of lighting, which I think you'll hear from Hannah a little bit later about that in particular. But astrotourism is, it involves people experiencing the night sky, whether it's be by visiting like an official location like an observatory, or just a car park, or a dark sky site away from light pollution that's safe to visit of a night time, and you can just get away from anywhere nearby lights. You can allow your eyes to adjust. and see the skies for what they truly are. Just as an example, if I look out my window here in Darlington, I can maybe see about 150, maybe 200 stars maximum. From Nidderdale and here at Littleseed Field, which is where I took this photo from, I can maybe see about 2,500 stars. So it makes a massive difference, and it's a natural resource that, you know, hopefully everyone will be encouraged to tap into. So astrotourism is basically means where people travel, where they can enjoy the beauty of nature. A sky full of stars, after all, is a beauty to behold, and the dark skies of the Yorkshire Dales, you know, as I said, just make the region even more special. And people do travel to escape light pollution. This event that I did at Littleseed Field last month, you know, people were coming from all over. I think they came from even as far you know, Doncaster and Manchester, even further south than that. So you know, where people are willing to travel, that brings potential business and potential opportunity. This particular location, so as I said, this isn't an observatory. What we're seeing here is me shining my laser pointer out from the communal area of Littleseed Field. So Littleseed Field has about 6 or 7 cabins, and this communal area was used for us to do some talks. Joanne, the proprietor, lit it up with red lights, with red fairy lights. Red lights don't affect your night vision, so it allows your eyes to adjust without being able to having to walk into things as well. So a very, very simple enhancement to this location was to put red fairy lights in, and it made for a wonderful venue. I had a couple of telescopes, and we had about 6, maybe 7 families enjoying some stargazing. So it's a real cool opportunity. And what is kind of the market potential? Well, I've picked this up from from my friend Richard Darn, who does similar things to me. He's a very keen amateur astronomer, and he likes to quote this this survey that Northumberland Tourism did in 2017, and they suggested that astrotourism boosted their local economy by £25 million a year and supported 450 jobs. Now, that's an awful lot of money and an awful lot of jobs for a national park that's the least populated in the UK. So it's made a massive difference, and that was 5 years ago, and it's much, much bigger since. Largely back then that was based around the impact of Kielder Observatory, which gets around 25,000 visitors per year. Somewhere where I volunteered, I was a volunteer there in 2017. It was hard work traveling up and down the A68 3 or 4 times a week, but it was good fun, and it made a big difference, and it's something I really enjoyed doing. And this photograph actually is from the Twice Brood Observatory, which is just to the south of Northumberland National Park. It's run by my friend Will, and he's set up not only an observatory, but his observatory now is basically a storeroom for telescopes. So you can see all of these telescopes laid out. I think he's got about 18 telescopes now, and this is to be around social distancing and some of the COVID restrictions. Each group that visits the observatory gets their own telescope. And they're building a planetarium now. So in other words, you know, it's full steam ahead for them, and you know, and other regions as well. And there is a lot of potential in astrotourism. So a little bit about Go Stargazing then. So when I finished volunteering at Kielder Observatory, I was quite keen to, you know, encourage other regions and other locations to take advantage of astrotourism, to encourage people's interest in astronomy. And that's why I set up Go Stargazing, which primarily is a website. It's also, we've got a social media channels. We're on Facebook with, well, tantalizingly just short of 100,000 followers on Facebook, and around 5,000 or 6,000 followers on Twitter, about 10,000 on Instagram or something. So there's been a huge surge of interest throughout the pandemic. I suppose, you know, people being locked down, slowing the pace of life has meant they've had a chance to look up, and that's had an impact on our social media followings. And it's an amazing audience, because absolutely everybody's really, really enthusiastic about it. It's something that everybody can do. You know, it doesn't take anything to go out and look up at the night sky. when you get a taste for it, when you want more, then you're just looking for somewhere to go where it's dark and away from light pollution. And ghost stargazing is all about that, is helping people find the best places to go at the best times to experience the night skies. So not only do I feature locations, so that's observatories and dark sky sites where people can go late at night and not be moved on by the police, for example. I also feature stargazing events. So this is a current view of my events map. This is showing the number of events that are taking place in the next 30 days. So it's about 100, just over 100 events in the next 30 days. And I would say that that's probably about 25% of what would normally be happening now. So stargazing events still haven't picked up after the pandemic. And these are mainly astronomy societies, clubs, observatories, and independent astronomers that are hosting events. So one reason I'm kind of showing you this is that you can have a look at my Go Stargazing website and see which events are taking place near you and use those events to advertise and promote your location as somewhere where you can, certainly if you're an accommodation provider, somewhere where people can stay. And just as an example of that, one particular event that's coming up next week, I think it is 23rd of March, there's a star party at Keld, so wonderful dark sky location. And here it is as it can be seen and found on my website. If you click visit event website, you go directly from my site to the official site where you can book. And it also has a map. If you see underneath location map, you can see a pin of where the event is taking place. So that's this blue sort of teardrop shaped pin. And then you can also see lots of other round circular pins, and they are little bed symbols in those pins, and they are stay and gaze locations. So these are places which are stargazing friendly that people can stay overnight. Similarly as well, if you went to one of these, looked at this map, so just to the right of the event pin is a location which is the Old Dairy B&B. It's a location I've been featuring on Go Stargazing for a few years now. So every accommodation or every stay and gaze location on Go Stargazing, when you view it, then the map changes so that the pin doesn't just show the location that you're looking at, but it also shows nearby events as well. So it's a two-way thing. I'm trying to use Go Stargazing to encourage people to find events in these dark sky places, such as the Yorkshire Dales, but then also give them options of where they can stay. And it seems to be working. I'm getting about 35,000 people a month visiting the site, and there's about 8,000 people now who have downloaded my free app. So as an addition to the website, I've also created an app that people can download and basically access these maps dynamically, in the sense that the app will pick up your location from your phone GPS, and it will show you which events and which accommodation is taking place near you. So here's a little screenshot that I've just taken this evening as I was rejigging some of my slides. So this is just my phone grab from this evening. I'm in Darlington, and I can see that there's 37 events taking place within the next 30 days. And there's the star party at Keld being featured as well. Hopefully this has given you a little bit of encouragement to look into all of these things and take advantage of these things. And I think we're talking about the next Dark Skies Festival. I guess we'll be in October. We'll be doing another Fringe Festival. So there's plenty of time to get prepared for it. I think, if anything, my top tip to everyone would be to add a page on your website. And add stargazing as a thing to do, as an activity, just as if you would, just as you might encourage, cyclists to come and cycle the Tour de Yorkshire cycle trails, or maybe hikes or walkers or bird watchers. You should be encouraging stargazers as well. They're just as important and just as interested in visiting the Dales because it's such a fabulous place to stargaze. If you would like to get in touch, that's my email address. Please feel free to contact me. And thanks once again, everybody. Cheers.
Thank you, Neil. That's great. Love the sunglasses, but they're not sunglasses, are they?
These are solar glasses. So they're special solar glasses that allow you to look at the sun. I got 2,000 of these solar glasses sent over from America and distributed them ready for the solar eclipse last year. And this was just this was the pair I kept. I just kept them as a fashion accessory, basically.
Brilliant. Thank you very much for your presentation, Neil. That was great. Thank you. Right, I'll now hand you over to Hannah Kay, who is our Dark Skies project manager, and she'll just highlight to you areas where you can improve your lighting and what we're working on at the moment. Thank you.
Hello, can you hear me and can you see what I want you to see? All good?
Yeah,
perfect.
That's a good start. Right, so I'm just finishing up here. So if you're anything like me, you'll be getting close to your bedtime. So it won't be too long. So yeah, as Helen said, I'm just going to talk to you very briefly about some top tips for keeping our lighting dark skies friendly. Obviously, we're doing all this, we're getting everybody to come and see our lighting. We need to make sure that we're actually practicing what we preach and we haven't got huge floodlights out the back or some polluting our neighbour's property or anything like that. So we'll go through that. Also, I'll just tell you briefly about some funding that we have available for local businesses to improve their lighting. So we'll just go ahead. So basically, with dark skies friendly lighting, it's not really very complicated. It's just usually just stopping and thinking about the lighting that you've got. I always just use my own house as an example and stop and think about the lights I've got outside and things you can do really quite quickly and easily to change how it looks. The best thing to do is to think about three things. Think about what you need to light, how long you're going to light it for, and also how bright it needs to be. We're not dark skies lighting. I think some people sometimes think that we're going to ask people to have no lights at all. We have to be pitch black. We have to just wander around in the dark and look at the beautiful skies. But obviously we know that people do need lights. There's security reasons, there's safety, there's all kinds of reasons why, and they're quite useful as well. So so we're not getting rid of lights. This big floodlight that I've put onto the side here, I just want you to use that as an example, because at first glance you would think, oh no, that's not dark skies friendly, oh it's a horrible thing. But actually you could really make that much better without redoing all of your lighting. So see how it's pointing straight out there. All you need to do is have it pointing straight down. So if you had one in your backyard to light up your back door, have it pointing straight down, so it just points. It still wouldn't be a great one. I bet Neil's got his hands up in horror at the sight of that one. But if you're going to improve one thing, point these lights down that are on a pivot like that. Also, the most amazing thing you could do is just put a motion sensor on it, so it only turns on when you need it. So I think the thing I wanted to be clear about is that it's quite easy fixes on these things. And a bit of a health warning on this, you do end up getting a bit obsessed once you start looking at all these lights. So you'll go around looking at everybody's lights like this and wanting to just climb up a ladder and point them down. So I think Neil will recognize this infographic because I think it was created by his fair hands. This is on our website as well, so you can use this infographic. This explains pretty much what I've just been saying. So number one, light just the area you need. It sounds very obvious and I feel like I'm just repeating the point, but we don't want to be using light, creating light spill, which is lighting our neighbour's property, which in my role is probably one of the things I get contacted most about, is people complaining about neighbours lighting or local businesses lighting. So light just the area you need. Number two, shielding your lights, so maybe having a hood around them. So that again directs the light and just points the light down and reduces light spill. Thirdly, think about the bulbs that you're going to use. Less bright is the term that we've used on this. Less than 500 lumens is the official sort of idea that we're going at. Usually, in fact, almost always, you can get away with less bright bulbs than you think. There are some circumstances, obviously, where you might need very bright bulbs, but in most cases, this would be sufficient. Number 4, and this is my favorite one that I think is probably the one that would have the most effect, using timers and sensors. So if all the lights could just have motion sensors on and just come on when they're needed, that would make a huge difference. And also timers, think about if there's just certain times of day where you think you need your light, just have it coming on then. Finally, the color of the lights makes a huge difference. So we want in warm colors, warm white colors. Avoid blue, cool blue. That's not what we, that's very much causing light pollution, is the cool blue colors. Just some pictures here is kind of examples of a lot of the lights that you might see around the Dales, probably on many people's properties. They don't look too offensive or challenging to the eye. However, if you're getting new lights, avoid these kind of lights. So as you can see, there's no shielding. They would, the light would just spill out. So they're not particularly dark skies friendly. More dark skies friendly light fittings are now available. So these ones, as you can see, I feel like I'm repeating myself a lot, but they're all pointing down, they're all shielded, and they would all be the warmer colors as well. What I'll do is I'll post some links at the end of this presentation to the website, and we do have some like examples that you can buy and see on there. So, and I'll put my contact details on as well, because I'm always happy to help with sourcing them. Used to be more difficult than it was, and it's gradually becoming easier to get them. Just a quick example here of a before and after. So on the left hand side, hopefully you can see that that's the before. So that is the light not shielded, and as you can see there's a lot of glare. And on the right hand side, there's been a new light put in which is shielded, and there's much less glare and it's pointing down. It's all, I mean, it's much more efficient as well. So I think a big thing nowadays in terms of trying to be more environmentally friendly and also financially, it just makes a huge difference if we're all making sure that we're only lighting what we need. There's a lot of wasted energy in some of these big lights that we have. Another thing that people talk about quite a lot to me is security, concerns about reducing lighting, and is that going to make it more likely that you'll get burgled? Do the big lights put off the burglars? And actually, hopefully what this picture on the right demonstrates is that the one on the left demonstrates actually is that would create far more shadows for people to hide in. It's probably much easier for a burglar to get sort of lurking in the shadows, and also lights up things perhaps that they would be able to see to get, again, it's lighting up the whole of the yard, for example, showing things that might be there, as opposed to just the back door for the people that are actually coming in and out. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, so finally, just quickly to tell you, we do have some funding available. I've been working with a number of local businesses to replace and enhance their dark skies lighting. This is the Station Inn at Ribblehead, which is obviously an iconic site. Been working with the owner there to get all of her lights. We did a full audit of the site, looking at ways it could be improved. These are the before pictures, just to be clear. We're not at the after stage yet because we're still working on it. But what we're going to do is we're funding a full replacement of all of their lights, which will be an amazing project for us and a real flagship for dark skies friendly lighting. And then more funding available for anybody who wants to get in touch with me. So hopefully this was a good introduction to all the do's and don'ts of lighting in the Dales. And a good takeaway is just to stop and think about your lighting. Think about your lights outside and anything you can do easily to change them. There's a link. I think we're going to be able to send out the presentations, are we? Or the links, because there's some good links on here to some information on our website. And one of those documents, I think the one on the right, has got quite a few links to actually where you can buy some dark skies friendly lighting. And this is me. This is my contact details if you want to get in touch with me. I'd love to hear from any of you. Thank you very much. I'm passing back to Helen now, I think.
Yeah, that's great. Thanks ever so much, Hannah. That's wonderful. Yes, like everybody said, we'll share all the presentations, so you'll be able to get all the information, all the relevant links that you need, which you might be interested in. So finally, thank you so much, everybody that's presented. I hope it's been informative for you. I hope you've learned things about the Dark Skies, about Dark Skies Festival, about the Yorkshire Dales, the reserve status, and the lighting, and hopefully become a dark sky friendly business if you aren't already one already. So if you've got any questions, please don't hesitate to ask, and we're all here in one room to be able to hopefully answer your questions. Thank you. Oh, do I need to, if anybody has a question, if you want to put your hands up. If not, we'll give it a couple of minutes and then you're more than welcome to leave.
We've also got the little news round clip if anyone's interested.
Oh yes, and we'll play that at the end.
Mhm.
No questions. Wonderful. Well, thank you very much for all attending anyway. That's great. And Katie, would you like to play the news round clip, and then we'll leave it at that?
Yeah.
Thank you very much. And if you do want to email us with anything, that would be wonderful. Thank you, Neil, for joining us. Thanks, Hannah. That's wonderful. Take care, everyone.
Can everyone hear that?
It's where you turn off all of the lights and look at the stars and discover new stars and then different pictures in the sky. Sometimes there's shooting stars and then you can make wishes. So that nocturnal animals can do all that business that they need to do, not wasting electricity, and let nature do its job. We're at the Nethergill Farm at the Yorkshire Dales for the Dark Sky Festival. The dark sky is important because you can see how the stars shimmer in the night sky. The dark sky is also important because it's time to spend with your family and friends to work out which constellations and which and find new constellations. Kids can get involved by wrapping up warm. They could take some food and lay down, and then they could see the stars. My top tips for the Dark Sky Festival are making sure you turn off all your lights, let nature do its job by lighting up the sky. That's pretty much it. We love shooting stars! Do you love shooting stars?
Oh,
Thank you. That was lovely. Thank you very much, everyone.